Hello, everybody. Terry M. Lee here to talk a little bit about building your community, whether it's with Kajabi or not, using the Heartbeat platform. I had posted earlier in the week that I was going to go over Heartbeat a little bit more. This is very impromptu. If you are watching me from my YouTube channel, definitely make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications button so that you don't miss out on any videos. But this is going to be a brief overview of sort of what Heartbeat can do for you uh, for your online business and building community. So let's sort of explain what it is. So Heartbeat is a platform, if you're familiar with Circle or if you're familiar with Kajabi's community, it's similar to that. So it can be an extension of your business. Some people use, let's say, in their Kajabi world, they use community to provide support to their customers. So it's sort of a help section, and they can put videos pre recorded or something like that in there. So think of it as sort of like Facebook groups, but not exactly. So, one of the shortcomings, if you will, of Kajabi's community is that you can't stream to it. You can't really do any kind of scheduling. It's more like forums, but with a little bit of extra stuff in it, but not it's not full grown, shall we say. So I know that Kajabi is planning some updates with community, but for the most part, people that are building a community of support and or extra access that maybe they don't want to be on Facebook groups or they don't want to be on Facebook at all, whatever their community needs, have a lot of them have used Circle. um, and so Heartbeat is an up and coming version of a community platform which has lots of potential. And it's being currently offered again as on an AppSumo deal. So if you're not familiar with AppSumo, I'll share my screen here in a moment. Let's say AppSumo is a platform that offers a lot of lifetime deals to certain products. So if you are familiar with Pably, which is an alternative to Zapier, Pably, I think, came up through here. We have Heartbeat. We have other different programs that, as they are starting out, it's a way of advertising and growing the platform of choice or the tool in the beginning stages. So you get to be on the ground floor um, of that product. So, let's say I'll just go through where the Heartbeat is down here because it's broad and center because it's that popular. There are two tiers, if you will, for buying it. There's a $69 tier, which is still lifetime, but it restricts you a little bit, and they explain what you can and can't do with it. There's just some limitations on how many members and things. So most people, obviously, if you know, unless you're dealing with a small community, opt for the tier two, which is unlimited members, unlimited storage, as opposed to I'm limiting my membership and stuff. But it's a lifetime deal. And so if you decide that you want to have more than just one community, let's say I actually have two communities. So I have one that deals with finance, totally separate than something that deals with um, my like Kajabi based business. So two totally different audiences. And so I bought multiple licenses. So you can buy multiple tiers, but when you go to activate it, you have to use different email addresses. And it has nothing to do with Hearteat. This is all about AppSumo and how they do what they call stacking and all this other kind of stuff. But nevertheless, this is kind of how it works if you decide to get it. So let's go on over to AppSumo. With Hearteat, and I will bring up the application for it. So there's a mobile app, there's a desktop app, and there's a web version for how you can access your Hearteat communities, whether you are a member or whether you are creating one. So up here in this top corner, if I click this, you'll see that I belong to different communities. This is my finance one. This is one that I joined. And then this one that's behind here is the Kajabi one. And so the way it works is you have these main areas, if you will. You can have your threads or your areas that you want to create. So like maybe it's a Q&A section, maybe you want to have where people can get some resources, frequently asked questions. So you break out how you want your community to look. They also have with Hearteat that you can have courses. So you can have courses and membership, and you can decide whether you want to have them be paid or free. So I've opted for a couple of free courses just so I could see what the process would look like. I've recorded some videos in Loom, and then I've just embed them in here so that people can then go through this. I can even add assignments, like homework assignments in here, or maybe steps on what people can and can't do, or what should be their next steps as they go through the lessons. So you can have a document section on where whatever you want to have in your community. And Hearteat also integrates with Notion. So I will fully admit I am not a Notion expert, but I have seen it do some powerful things as far as documenting processes and what have you. And so you can tie that in here into your documents in here, or you can just, maybe you want to create another section and you can give access to who has access to your particular documents. So we have events. So this is where you can schedule upcoming events where in maybe some other platforms you can't. So what I like about the events in here is, let's say if I do, call this my demo event, I can have this set up whatever time frame I want. But if I want to have this be a recurring event, I can actually tie this to a Google Calendar. Could be my G Suite calendar or my personal Google, whatever you want to use for your community, so that they know what's upcoming in your community. But then you can also say, hey, I'm just going to have this be on Hearteat, where you can have a audio or video an event. You could have a custom one where maybe it's some other platform, third party, or you can connect it directly to Zoom, so that when they register, they're going to maybe register at the Zoom and they'll have the link and they'll be added to, they'll have access to that event. The directory is just like what it says. There's a matchup feature, which I'm not using here because I'm just sort of starting out getting mine set up. but you can match people's interests. So let's say, okay, this is all about Kajabi, but maybe I want to have my podcasters um, really group together and get together in what they do, or I want my creatives to introduce themselves to each other and have sort of this likeness or whatever. And it may be related to the business, or maybe it's just like I just want all the moms to get together. That's always a very popular group across various business stages, where the moms have their unique take and experience because they're dealing with kids and juggling that along the way. And then you have your analytics, which I'm not really going to go into that right now. But one of the things I wanted to point out also in your threads is that you can have voice room. So if you are familiar with Discord, and you may or may not, it's a different type of platform that started in the gaming realm. But you can say, hey, we're just going to have um, let's say if I click on this one, we're just going to have a quick chat, and its focus is more audio. And we're going to start talking in here, but you have the ability to uh, add video to it later. So if I call this, mm, what do they call it? Water cooler is a popular name for it. Let's call it the water cooler one, right? And so it's popped up here. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up my recording here, but you can turn on video. You can share your screen in here, invite other people, but it's meant to be like an ad hoc kind of a room to without having a big scheduled event that anybody in your community could have a water cooler session. You could even do it as a one-on-one. Maybe somebody was having a particular challenge with something, and you just wanted it, a quick help them through something. You could have a water cooler or session where it's primarily audio. Maybe you don't need to set up a whole Zoom thing for it, and you just want to help them and maybe share your screen if you need to. So that's kind of what you can do in water cooler, and you can determine whether you want it to be all access or like it's sort of public. Think of it like a Facebook group where anybody can join, and then you can have different permissions on different things that are based on your groups or whether somebody has paid for something. So I could say, I have a special area that's only for paying members of my products or one-on-ones or consultations or whatever the case may be. And so they would see the public area, but they would also see this private area and things of that nature. And so it's up to you on how you want to lay out your community space. You could have something that is maybe not related to the business per se, like maybe you have for fun, you know cooking tips, or people that like to have share your uh, picture of your pet or whatever the case may be, so that it's not all just like, oh, it's just all these business tips and things that I have to think about. Community could be something where you've added in some fun stuff to it, or just hey, these are some of the realities of juggling whatever I'm trying to do in the business. And so maybe you just have, maybe not necessarily a gripe session per se, but just things that are going on in the realities of running or operating whatever type of business you um, are doing. Some of the antics that come along with like, you can't believe what happened to me today, kind of stories. where you get to share, like, I can't believe this customer asked me this, or whatever the case may be. So again, making it your own for your community, and your audience can post in here. They can even post. Well, this is probably for me the HTML, but I can also have different options. You can have polls. I can add in documents, and even some video or short videos. But it works better if you're just using like a URL from a YouTube or Loom or things of that nature. But that's the gist of what you have available to use in your community. So how does that play out for you? Sometimes, like, you could have teaser content that's free that leads to your paid content. You could do challenges here, um, as part of building your audience, your list. And again, maybe it goes more to a different paid content, whether you have that paid content here or in Kajabi or some other platform. The choice is really up to you. But I've seen one of the other communities I joined just to kind of see what they had done. It was about a guitar. Learning the guitar, a different type or specific genre. It was like jazz guitar and stuff like that. They were on a different platform, but it was more about what you can do in communities. And so, one night of the week might have been like some analyze what you hear, what instruments are playing, or something like that. So you can make it be interactive and not just, here's a bunch of information, go do it, and blah, blah, blah. So again, that's sort of the quick and dirty overview of Hearteat and community, making it close to brand. Like, I did these headers at the top in Canva, and pinned them there so that people can see what's there, and know sort of the rules of what is happening in this particular thread area. I think I had started this one and then I hadn't finished it. So as you can see, I'm still building even myself. But again, I really like this platform. It's down to, I believe, like 22 hours left in this as of this posting for the deal. You should see the link below if you're interested in building community using Hearteat. Definitely let me know if you have any questions. I'm thinking about doing a workshop on really kind of getting things set up and how to onboard people and invite people, but then also prevent spammers and junk like that. So let me know what you think, and are you even building a community regardless of platform, using something else? Otherwise, I think that's it for today, and I will talk to you later. Bye.